I'm Ashish. I'm a software developer and lead at Cloud Assert Technologies. My team primarily focuses on building cost management product for Windows Azure Pack and Microsoft Azure Stack. We do have resource management tools for Windows Azure Pack and Microsoft Azure Stack, but today you will see how the Cloud Assert Billing solution can be used to charge different sizes of VMs in Azure Stack. All right, a little bit about Cloud Assert. So Cloud Assert has been building softwares and providing services for private hybrid cloud, hosted cloud, and public cloud as well for the past 5 years. So we have customers across the globe who are actually using our products in both Windows Azure Pack and Microsoft Azure Stack. And the agenda for the session is that, so we will be seeing an overview of the billing solution, the different pricing models available in billing solution for Microsoft Azure Stack, how Microsoft CSP charges resources, primarily VMs, virtual machines, when the end customer provisions it from the tenant portal, how the Cloud Assert Billing solution helps the service provider or the service administrator to charge their customers differently for the different sizes of VMs that they have provisioned. There's going to be a short demo where we be seeing the admin experience and the tenant experience of the billing solution for Azure Stack, and obviously how a service administrator can set or configure the prices for the different VMs. There's going to be a Q&A session at the end, and even during the demo, if you guys have any questions, please free to IM them. My team is here along with me, and they'll be able to answer those questions. All right, let's begin now. An overview of the billing solution, right? So the billing solution for Cloud Assert Billing solution is the only third-party resource provider which is a billing resource provider for Azure Stack. The billing solution has separate admin and tenant experience, and they are integrated to the Azure Stack admin and tenant portals. The billing solution supports both connected and disconnected Azure Stack infrastructure. So you would have probably used either pay-as-you-go model when you purchase Azure Stack or a capacity model. So our solution supports both the models that you're currently using. It primarily monitors the tenants' resource usage, cost, and the quota consumption. So when we mention quota consumption, it mainly tracks the quota consumption information of resource providers such as the Microsoft Compute, Network, and Storage. So these are the default resource providers that comes as part of the Azure Stack solution. The billing solution captures the real-time usage cost, and it can be seen, or the real-time cost can be seen in both admin as well as the tenant portal. Invoices are generated per subscription of the user. Again, so once the invoice is generated, it can be seen in both admin as well as the tenant portal. And in the tenant portal, the tenant users, right, they can configure alerts based on a cost threshold. So as soon as the cost reaches this threshold, an email alert will be sent to the registered email ID, as well as from the within the tenant portal, this can be viewed as well. Let's see the different pricing models available in the Cloud Assert Billing solution. When we ship the solution, right, when we release our product on a monthly basis, it comes with a default pricing profile that contains a list of meters, list of Azure Stack resource meters. The service administrator can set custom prices to these resource meters, and when the tenant user provisions these resources or provision any resources, as a matter of fact, it doesn't have to be a virtual machine. It could be a SQL database, an app service, whatsoever, right? When the tenant provisions these resources, they will be charged based on the price that is configured by the service admin. And this charge that we compute, this charge that the billing solution computes, can be seen in a hourly basis, daily basis, as well as monthly basis. It supports pay-as-you-go model, where the service admin configure the prices for each resources. It supports fixed payment model, where the prices are not set for the resource meters, but only the plan level. A flat fee will be charged every month, irrelevant of what resource or how many resources have been used by the end customers. This typically supports the capacity model of Azure Stack, but even in the capacity model of Azure Stack, you can go with pay-as-you-go model as well. And there's hybrid pricing model where it is a combination of a pay-as-you-go and a fixed payment model, right? In addition to it, credits can be given at an offer level in Azure Stack per resource, per user, and per subscription of the user. A one-time or a recurring credit can be configured in the plan level or the offer level in Azure Stack. That is when the user subscribes to the offer, a one-time credit for the month of subscription can be given. Or let's say if the plan is configured as a recurring credit. So after the tenant user subscribes to this offer, every month whatever the credit amount that is specified will be discounted. A little bit about how Microsoft CSP billing works for Azure Stack virtual machines. This applies to a connected Azure Stack infrastructure where the Azure Stack is registered to Microsoft Azure using a shared CSP subscription, right? Hope you guys are able to see my screen, and there's a screenshot that I put up, and this screenshot is a VM size selection page which will be prompted when you're trying to create a virtual machine from the tenant portal. If you could see the first couple of rows, there are different sizes or different SKUs of VMs, namely DS1v2, F1S, D1v2, F1, and A1v2. The common factor in these 4 or 5 VMs is that the CPU core is one, but the RAM size, the number of disk, and the SSD size, they differ. So all the 4 or 5 VMs have the vCPU core as one, but differs in other hardware parameters. When Microsoft charges these VMs, it only captures the CPU information. So it does not consider the RAM or the data disk or the SSD size even. It just sees the CPU core and it charges. Let's say that the VM with one CPU core is charged $34 per month. So all the VMs that is listed in the first couple of rows, DS1v2, F1S, D1v2, etc., will be charged the same. In addition to it, when the CSP presents the bill to the service administrator or the service provider, you'll just see the total cost for the VM. So you will not know how many number of VMs has been created under each SKUs. You cannot determine or identify how many number of, let's say, DS1v2 VMs has been created by an individual customer in Azure Stack. So this is where a Cloud Assert Billing solution has found out a way in which the service admin can easily set prices for different VMs, and the number of VMs that has been created under each queue can also be identified. Like I mentioned earlier, the billing solution comes with the default pricing profile that contains a list of Azure Stack resource meters. It also contains meters for different Windows and Linux queues. This is what has been highlighted in yellow. So Windows standard 1, standard A0, etc., and base standard A0. So the base VMs are nothing but the Linux VMs. We have a mechanism in which we'll be able to identify the exact size or the SKU of the VM. Right. Normally, the billing solution queries the usage information from the local Azure Stack repository on a hourly basis, and from this usage that has been queried, we will be able to identify the VM SKU, and we'll compute the price, or the billing solution will compute the price based on the actual price that has been configured by the service administrator. The service administrator can define the custom price. It doesn't have to be what Microsoft specifies, right? I believe for Windows VM, it is $34 per month. So for you to gain a profit, you could say Windows of standard A0 is $34 and standard A1 is like $36 and so on. That is entirely up to the service provider on how the prices must be configured. Again, so this is again the pay-as-you-go model, and this will support in both the connected as well as the disconnected Azure Stack infrastructures. Quick demo. Please give me a minute. Let me present my other screen so that we'll get started with the demo. Please let me know if you're able to see the screen. I've just presented the admin portal of Azure Stack. Once you're able to see my screen, I can get started. Yes, thank you, Kevin. Right. What you're seeing here right now is the admin portal of Azure Stack. Like I was mentioning earlier, the billing solution, after deploying our billing solution, right, you will be able to see it from the admin portal, and there's separate tenant portal experience as well. So this is the overview. It just gives the cost information of the current month, on how much resources has been consumed, what's the cost for each resource, how many number of subscriptions are there, how many resources has been created by each subscription. This typically gives the information. Let's primarily focus on how to set the price for different VMs, right? So all you need to do is click on the pricing profile, base profiles. So this is the default pricing profile I was talking about. So this will have a list of meters that is pre-populated by us. All you need to do is just clone this one, and you have your own pricing profile. Or you could make use of the existing one as well. That's entirely up to you. So if it is going to be a fixed payment, you just need to set here. You will have to set the monthly fee. You can choose the option as yes, set whatever the amount that you want, configure the remaining items. So if there's promotions like recurring or one-time credit, if you would like to give it at the plan level or the offer level, you could choose that, enter the value, and save this one. What I have here right now is a hybrid model, a hybrid pricing model. So I have the monthly fee set, as well as I've configured the prices for different VMs as well. I'll be showing it to you in a second. So once in the pricing profile level, everything is configured, your country, your currency symbol, currency text, everything's configured. You can save this one. Now all you need to do is just click and click on the open button. Right. So these are the different resource meters, and these resource meters are published by Microsoft once in a while. So every time they publish a new resource meter or a new VM SKU, what we would do is, as part of the release, we'll be adding this as part of the default pricing profile. In addition to it, you could also create it on your own, right? So we were trying to look at how we can set prices for Windows VM. Here you can query it, Windows standard A0, right? You can click on that. You can set the monthly unit price. I'm going to give it 300. Once that is done, you need to enable the meter. So unless and until you click on yes, the cost for the particular VM size, right, it won't be charged. So after setting the price, you need to ensure that you've selected yes, and that's it. You can save this one. As simple as that. So this is how you can set the price. So once the price is set, the end customers from the tenant portal, they'll start creating the resources. And as soon as they start creating resources, the billing solution will capture it, compute the cost, and you can see the running real-time cost here under usage history. So this is the current month. You could also view the historic cost as well. Or you could just choose the selected your desired billing period. You can see the cost. You can download them as a CSV file, feed into the ERP system for processing, right? Uh, Again, this is the admin experience. I'm just jumping to the tenant experience right now, right? So this is the tenant portal. This is the overview screen where the end customer can see the current month running cost here, the overview, and you can choose a desired subscription to see the breakdown of the cost. So just click the please give me a second. Yeah. So this is the total cost for the current month. Here you can identify and also the cost for the same. And at every month, then, like I was mentioning, the invoice will be generated by the billing system. Again, these invoices can be seen in both admin as well as the tenant portal. But if you choose not to show the invoices to the end customer or the tenant, you can hide it. So that is something that is customizable. Under settings, you will be able to choose whether you are going to let your end customers, the tenants, see the invoices and download them or not. That is entirely up to you. So the invoices can be seen from the portal, can be viewed here. This is basically it. Right. That's about it. So we are now open for Q&A. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to ask us, and we'll get started. So I have a question from Mark Nornberg. So the question is, how do you synchronize the tons of Azure Stack SKUs on your side, and how do you set the prices? So, like I was mentioning, every month or once in a while, if there's a new VM SKU, Microsoft publishes it. And as part of monthly releases, we'll be updating the resource meters. Or we have an online metering service where all you need to do is from the admin portal, there you can click on a button called update meters, the existing pricing profiles, right? Let's say you are going to maintain 10 or 15 pricing profiles, each profile for different customers. What you could do is just click on update meters, and whatever the new meters or the new VMs are that are there, it will get synchronized. It will be updated into your system. Hope that answers your question, Mark. Right. Okay, there's a question from Hatima. Hatima. So your question is that how can you calculate the traffic? Can you be more specific, please? Right, the usage of the VM, right? All right. So if the VM is turned on, ideally the billing solution will query the local repository, local Azure Stack repository to get the usage information of all the resources, not just VM. It gets an hourly basis, right? So from there, whatever prices that have been set, it gets computed. So if you are meaning like the traffic is a bit ambiguous to me, but if you are wondering how the usage has been computed, we are not computing it.
So I think he's talking about the network traffic.
Okay, the network traffic. Again, whatever usage metrics that Azure Stack emits, right, for VM or uh, availability set, if the usage is available in the local Azure Stack repository, we will be able to capture it, and you can compute the price for the same. Hope that answers your question. Is there a way to bulk update the pricing of the SKUs, or do you have to edit each SKU one at a time? No, not necessary. You can fill in an Excel sheet. So we'll give you the template of the Excel sheet. All you need to do is just set the prices, the Excel sheet, and using a tool, you'll be able to update it in a single shot. You needn't go and do it manually as well. Kevin, hope that answers your question. Thank you.
Talking about the network traffic, I believe at this point Azure Stack only provides usage meters related to number of IP addresses, static and dynamic IP addresses from a network standpoint. But in terms of blob data transfer, ingress egress data, that's tracked. But as such, for a given VM, what is the incoming network bytes consumed, outgoing network bytes? That meter, to my knowledge, is not emitted by Azure Stack as of today. However, you can, like Ashish said, there is a publicly available list of meters, usage meters that Azure Stack publishes, and they keep evolving this from time to time, introduce new meters, and as long as you keep an eye on what are the available meters that are out there, and plan your pricing accordingly, then you'd be okay. So I've sent you a link that kind of has the list of all available usage meters. So you would be able to price for your services based on any of those usage meters at this point in time.
So there's another question from Kevin. Can we export all the tenant usage to a CSV like we can do it in web? Of course, yes. So whatever features that you're already using in the billing solution for Windows Azure Pack, the exact same thing exists for Azure Stack as well. The detailed usage, it can be downloaded in both as in admin as well as the tenant portal. I do not see any other questions. So uh, if you guys if you're interested, you can reach us at info@cloudassert.com for any product related queries, or if you would like to have a demo of the entire solution, right? We do have another resource management product which is WeConnect for Microsoft Azure Stack, and if you would like to see a demo, you could write to us. Or if you are interested in setting a POC of a product, let's say in your ASDK or even your multi-node environment, please do feel free to write to us, right? So thanks everyone. Thanks for joining.